And I pull up behind him because I figured they were lost or needed help. I walked up to the door, and this man, and I wish I would have brought a picture. I wasn't really expecting, new faces, so you could see a picture. But if you decide you ever want to come back, I'll make sure I bring it every time. I walk up to the car door to say, do you need any help? And out jumps this man, long black hair, black beard, bandana. He looks Incan, a South American, and I mean like something you would see in a history book, Incan, like really very intense features and extremely intense eyes. It's just blazing presence. It was really etched on his face. You could see where. You could see that he, for me, I saw that he actually engaged the world and was not terrified by it. He could engage it in ways that we have yet to even begin to understand as one, Americans, and two, as modern men, with our particular lifestyle that we're dealing with here. So he jumps out of the car, grabs my hand, starts shaking it wildly. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to finally meet you. I'm stunned. I don't know what to do. I'm a 25-year-old kid, child, just stunned. So he asked me where a friend of mine's house is. I said, oh, Dan, he lives over there. Gave him directions. And just as suddenly as he was doing that, he was in the car and he was gone. I'm like, wow, that was really weird. So I go back to the Bronco. My wife was with me in the car. And I knew I had met him. I don't know how. But I knew I had met him before he even said anything. Well, that night we went over to Dan's house because Dan's birthday was a few days before mine. And we were having a birthday celebration. And he was there. And there were several other people there as well. But that's when he actually introduced himself to me as Carlos. Everybody knew it was that. He had an actual name. The pen name is Carlos Castaneda. His actual name was Joseph Arena. He was born in Cajamarca, Peru. But Carlos is who he was. And so we're at this party, and as the night progresses, it thins out. People are going home, and after a while, it's just me and Carlos left. Everybody else is cleaning up or sleeping, and it's July, so we're outside. I'm sitting at this picnic table, and he's sitting across from me, and he starts talking to me. We're having this conversation, right? And it was one of those things where I didn't really have to say anything. He knew me right away. I mean, knew everything about me right away. And at a certain point, he stops talking. He tells me that the world is like an onion. You just have to peel back the layers. And just when he says that, he starts dematerializing. His clothes, not just him, his clothes were left in a pile. His clothes went with him. His shoes went with him. So I'm sitting there looking at this, and I'm watching him, physical mass, turning into this blue, immaculate glow. And the tree behind him is doing this, warping and woofing in that energy that's just sitting there. It was not, it was ancient. It was old. It was not confounded. It was not violent. It was not deceiving. It was pure love. Absolutely pure. And over the years, it's been very interesting for me because the more I see, because you don't see so much when you're young. As you get older, you see more. He's the only person I know that hit that age still that shiny, that unfettered, that free. I've never met anyone even close to that sense. It put me in a position where I have spent the last 15 years fighting like hell to have that. not in a nonchalant way, not in an indifferent way, not in a when I have time for it way, not in a this is too freaky, I'm stopping way, in a real way. And I've had to penetrate quite a bit within myself. And I have felt terrified at times. Absolutely, completely terrified. I would rather be waterboarded if I were to have my choice. You know, I understand that there are a lot of people propagating this idea that it's a rosy road. No, it's a real one. And for a bulk of people, a bulk, that real one has got a lot of bumpy stuff in it. And there's nothing to judge about it. There's nothing to feel bad about it or any guilt. It's just what's happening, what is in front of us. At a certain point, for one to go any further, the fear has got to be addressed. We are all, oh my God, are we all on that threshold? You're so close. But the fear is still very, very pungent. Maybe there's people here that don't feel that. And if you don't, great. Let's hear from you too, how you got past it. I mean, for me, it's a very hard topic to talk about. But it's very important. But it's very hard to talk about, mainly because of its level of importance. How important it actually is. And when you get to talking about it, how guarded people become. How the shields go up. The moat is laid out in front. Pile of alligators in it and hippos with lasers, and it gets confrontative. Because fear doesn't know anything else. It's a confrontation. It's a conflict. It is conflict itself. You know, when people think, what is fear? They don't realize that the thing thinking it is the fear. The thing thinking what is fear is the fear. It's always hiding. It's always throwing you other, here, look at this. Don't look at me, look at that. Don't look at me, look at that. Don't look at me, look at that. Ego does that incessantly. We all know that. Our ego is incessantly trying to get the attention off of it so it can run amok and ruin our lives. And we have no idea why. We can pretend we have no idea why. Well, actually, we don't. The truth is we don't have an idea why. As long as the attention's not going on the source of the chaos, there's no way to know the source of chaos. If you cannot be aware of the source of chaos, then how do you understand it? And what kind of understanding would you actually have about it? And how would that empower you to do something about it? Fear is the chattering mind. It is not some idea. It is an event. It is a